At the bottom of the Java Sea, a forgotten World War II wreck begins to emerge.
This Allied cargo ship was sunk in 1942 during the Japanese advance through Southeast Asia.
A single diver approaches the wreck, moving carefully through decades of decay. The ship's name and faded Allied markings still cling to the corroded steel.
A blast tore open the hull, sending the ship and its cargo to the seafloor. Inside the cargo hold, the seabed has claimed much of what was once carried. Vehicles meant for the front lines now lie twisted and rusted beyond use. Among the cargo, silver bullion remains sealed in shattered crates. These silver bars were meant to finance the Allied war effort. After more than 80 years, the convoy's lost wealth rests untouched in the dark. The wreck remains frozen in time, every detail unchanged since its descent.
Crates of military equipment still bear faded Allied identification marks. Weapons meant for battle never left the ship. Even unit numbers remain, slowly dissolving under decades of seawater.
The deeper the diver moves, the denser the cargo becomes.
Some crew members never escaped the sinking ship.
Their uniforms still identify them as Allied sailors.
The wreck is not just a cargo site, but a war grave.
Ammunition lies where it fell, untouched since 1942.
The exploration continues, deeper into the ship's silent history.
Beyond the hold, the exterior of the ship tells its own story of destruction.
Explosions and flooding shattered the ship as it sank.
The crew's last line of defense remains locked in position.
Even serial markings survive beneath layers of decay.
Marine life has reclaimed the wreck completely.
Attempts to abandon ship were cut short.
Only 2 divers explore the site, careful not to disturb it.
The ship's bell still rests where it fell.
The stern section holds more clues to the ship's final moments.
At the rear, the ship's identity remains etched into the steel.
The propeller that once drove the ship now lies motionless in the sand.
Decades of seawater have eaten away every moving part.
The ship's name is still faintly visible near the stern.
Damage here suggests the ship lost control before sinking. An open hatch hints at chaos during the final moments. Even small compartments were quickly flooded.
Another crew member rests where the water overtook him.
Personal identification remains after all these years.
The stern holds silence and loss in equal measure. Structural supports collapsed as the ship settled on the seafloor.
Communication lines were torn apart during the sinking.
The starboard side absorbed the brunt of the attack.
The emblem still marks the ship's allegiance.
Defensive equipment remains, long stripped of function.
Identification numbers survive beneath layers of corrosion. Every section reveals more evidence of wartime urgency.
Lower decks remain too unstable to enter.
Much of the ship remains unexplored, locked away by time.
The midsection reveals how the ship broke apart as it sank.
The controls were abandoned instantly.
Every movement must account for unstable wreckage.
Supplies stored in drums were crushed during the descent.
The force of impact ripped the steel apart.
More bullion remains sealed inside the ship.
The wreck has become part of the local marine ecosystem.
The deeper sections still guard their secrets.
The forward deck shows signs of frantic final activity.
The superstructure absorbed heavy damage. Crew quarters were abandoned mid-escape.
Personal belongings were left behind.
Even decorations remain with the fallen. The wreck preserves both history and human cost.
The exploration moves toward the ship's final resting point. The bow struck the seafloor with tremendous force. The impact trail is still visible beneath the ship.
The forward section absorbed the final shock.
Personal equipment lies scattered where it fell.
Weapons meant for defense were never used. Hatches were torn free during the descent.
Today, marine life moves freely through the wreck.
Even at the bow, valuable cargo remains trapped.
The wreck's forward end marks the ship's final impact.
From this distance, the full scale of the wreck becomes clear. Each section tells part of the ship's final story. Nature has laid new life over wartime steel.
The blast scattered debris far beyond the hull.
Even outside the ship, pieces of the lost cargo remain.
Traces of human movement remain frozen in the seabed.
The divers document everything without disturbing the site.
The wreck is recorded, but left untouched.
It is time to leave the ship to its silence.
The Java Sea keeps its wartime secrets below.
After documenting the wreck, the divers begin their ascent to the surface.
Careful adjustments ensure no detail from the wreck is lost.
Maintaining safety is critical during every ascent.
The divers move slowly to avoid stirring sediment from the wreck below.
Even from a distance, the scale of the sunken ship is undeniable.
Every shot is reviewed carefully to capture historical accuracy.
The surface draws nearer as the expedition concludes.
The Java Sea guards its secrets, leaving only traces for those who dare to dive.